a lot to talk about with yourself. So I think we'd
Yeah,
start with. I think we should start with Chelsea. Of course, played last night, first game under
yeah.
Graham Potter. What did you think of the performance?
I thought they controlled the game. I thought it was a good controlled game. I thought they were the better team. I thought they they their play up till the final third was very good. Um, I do think at times when they win the ball in good areas, their initial thought is um, is to control first and play it backwards instead of try to play it forward and put the opposition more on a back foot. Um, I think they could have done that more and better. Um, but overall, I thought up until they scored 1-0, it was very good. When when they scored when they scored 1-0, they didn't push on. They didn't really go for the 2-0. Um, I think um, they went a little bit more in the controlling instead of looking for the 2-0. What I think Graham Potter will be, I think, a little bit frustrated with. And then when they scored 1-1, you could see that the intensity went up again to score the 2-1. So overall, they were unlucky to get the goal against. But in Champions League that you can always get, a goal against. So you need to be on top. It's not the result that he wanted. Majority, it was the performance that he wanted. So in a sense, he can be quite happy.
Obviously, Chelsea were quite quick to sack Thomas Tuchel. Do you think that was the right decision?
When owners take over their club, they have got their own vision, and majority of their time they want to bring in their own man who will implicate that vision. Was I surprised? Yes, I was surprised. I didn't.
Oh, sorry, I think we've lost audio there, Jimmy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you
Can
now.
you hear me? Yeah. So I was saying, yeah, I was a little bit surprised because obviously, he got the transfer window and stuff. But then, when a new owner comes in, he wants to bring in his own people and have his own vision and people who have got that vision to implicate that, in the way forward. So, but then on the other hand, Thomas did very well last year with a very difficult situation, and scored a lot of brandy points. How he handled that situation and how he came out of it, So, did I think that Tuchel would going to be here for a while longer? Yeah, but look, it's football. Nothing really surprised me. In a way, I can understand that the new owner wants to have his people and his appointments in the club to go forward. So, and to be fair, I do like Potter. I like Potter, what he has done at Brighton, how they play, how attacking they play. If you look at the side yesterday, it was very attacking. Sterling was playing left wing back, in an attacking way. He had Aubameyang, he had Harvard, he had Mason Mount on the pitch. So those are a lot of attacking players.
I guess with that, moving on to the players, I think you recently said that Chelsea needed another 3 signings to have a squad that was good enough to compete. Do you think you have the squad now, or do you think they needed more?
I think they brought in a striker, a number 9. I think Aubameyang can score 20 plus goals. I think, you know, when Kante comes back, they will be stronger. They didn't get the centre half that they wanted, but they got a young centre half, and he will need time. I think, have they got a squad to become champion? Not yet. Not yet. Have they got a squad to get in the top 4 and compete for a FA Cup or get far in the Champions League? Yes. Are they going to win the Champions League? They are not favorites. I don't think that they are. But a successful season will be in the top 4 and winning a cup this year.
You talked about Aubameyang, obviously getting 20 goals a season there. He's had a relatively slow start. He was brought in with the view that he was going to be working with Thomas Tuchel because they'd worked together before. What do you think? How well do you think he'll do? You said they're 20 goals a season, but the way that he left Arsenal, how he was at Barcelona, do you think it's a bit of a risk for Chelsea?
He done really well at Barcelona. He was scoring goals. He did well. I think it's a good signing for the next 2 years. I don't think that it is a 4 or 5 year signing. It's a 2-year signing. I think he will score goals. He knows where the back of the net is. I think, yes, he did sign for Chelsea because Tuchel was there. But as a footballer, you know, it happens that managers come and go, you know, and his career will keep on going, and he needs to produce like any other player. And I don't think that there is a problem. I think he's going to embrace it, and I think Potter will embrace him as well. I don't see any problem, really. He has only played 2 matches. Yeah, he has not hit the back of the net yet, but that will come. You don't become a bad player in overnight. You know, I think that he will score. He's different than Lukaku. He's different than Werner. They're different kind of players. He's better in small areas. You know, does his movement of yesterday have to be a...
Sorry, Jimmy, you're frozen again there.
Am I okay now?
Yep, you're okay now.
Yeah. Does his movement going to improve? Yeah, I think the sharper he's going to become, the sharper his movement is going to be. You can see that he's not there yet. He went a few times offside last night, but with time he will get sharper and goals will come.
Kai Havertz as well. He's another player that obviously scored in the Champions League final, but then since then has had his critics for certain performances. Where do you see him fitting into the team? And do you think he's a starter for Chelsea? Yeah,
he's definitely the starter for me. I like Kai. Kai brings class, brings elegance to the team. Beautiful left foot. I think he's a kind of player that needs to play in a free kind of role. You know, yesterday they played with like 2 number 10s. Really, he should be a number 10 for me, getting in the box, getting at the end of things, creating things, getting on the ball, needs to get more touches on the ball. I like him. Yes, he's not having a great time at the moment. He's not playing his best football, but he's still young. He's still young. You know, he needs to find the good consistency, and he is looking for that. But you need to give him time. You need to give him that room. He's a young player.
If you was the manager in the summer and you had obviously all that money to spend, is there anyone that you would have bought in yourself? Is there a player out there that you think would have made Chelsea title contenders or definite for the top four, for example?
Yeah, everybody wanted Haaland, but Haaland was already gone and he was always going to go to Man City. You know, Chelsea missed out of Koundé, what was a big one. I would have loved to see De Jong in midfield, but it wasn't meant to be. They missed out on De Ligt, who went to Bayern Munich. You know, so yeah, they missed out on a couple. But end of the day, I thought that, you know, going for the centre half. Look, the boy that came from Leicester, I've lost his name. Who was that again? Fofana, yes. Great future ahead. But if you're going to buy a centre half in England who has done really well, I would have liked Webster from Brighton. I like Webster, what he has done, how far he has come, and I think it's time for him to step up to the next stage. But then you're going to, you know, it's between the one of Leicester and Webster. I would have. I like Webster, you know, and he might have been a little bit cheaper.
Just on Chelsea's fixtures coming up, they don't actually play again until October 1st because of the postponement weekend and then the international break. Do you think that's going to benefit Graham Potter?
If there was no international break, it would have benefited him a lot. Now it does benefit him a little bit, but not as much, because majority of the players or all of the players are going to go to their national team, and he can't work with them. You know, so if they would still be here, it would be absolutely magnificent for him, because he could have a mini pre-season. What I think he's going to try to do now until they have to go to their national team. Or
right. Just on the owner, Todd Bailey, he obviously come out with the comments about a all-star game, North versus South. I just wondered if I could get your opinions on that, because obviously there was a lot of talk last night about Thierry Henry basically laying into him. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Well, he's got ideas. I don't think that it will work, but he's got ideas. You know, it's like what the NBA are doing and all that in America. But I don't think in England it would work, and I also don't think that it is kind of what we do here in the game. You know, I think it's another. Obviously, there is a lot of money associated with it, and obviously that is great. But I don't think that we are there yet with those kind of things. So I don't think that it is going to. It has got legs, basically. I don't think that it will happen, and I don't also think that it's a football thing.
Obviously, your era of football was slightly different to as it is today. If there was an all-star game then, would you have played in it? And how do you think it would have gone? How do you think it would have gone with the likes of Tottenham and Chelsea and Arsenal players having to play together?
I think the rivalry between the teams, they are there, but the respect between the players are also there. So I don't have really bad blood with, even though we used to go hard against Arsenal and Spurs, and all that, because they are, and West Ham players on the day, because they are derbies. But when we would see each other on the streets, there's always respect. There's always respect, and spoken, and or in a nightclub or on events or whatsoever. There's always respect. So I don't think that would be a problem, because if you look at the England national team, there are so many players, from different clubs, and they still find a way to get together and put their best foot forward.
Just another player, obviously, that scored last night was Raheem Sterling, moved from Manchester City. What do you make of that move, and do you think that it will benefit Raheem Sterling in his career?
Well, it's his next chapter in his career, isn't it? He didn't feel the love. What I can understand, he didn't feel the love at Man City. He didn't feel as he was as much appreciated over there as he thought he should, for whatever reasons. And he moved on, and fair play to him. He moved on. He didn't look back, and he's wearing the blue shirt with very proudly. And he is. You could see that he's trying. He scored a really good goal yesterday. He was very dangerous. He got in a lot of 1v1 opportunities, positions. He was really the most dangerous player from Chelsea. Puts in some good crosses. So yeah, it's Chelsea needed something like that. Somebody that can take people on 1v1, quick, small, brave, direct. I think it's an exciting move for him.
Another player that's come in for some criticism this season has been the goalkeeper, Edouard Mendy. I just wondered, do you think that Chelsea should have maybe brought in another goalkeeper before the transfer window ended? Do you think that he's the right man to be in goal for Chelsea for the rest of the season?
No, I don't think that Chelsea should come in for another goalkeeper. He made one mistake against Leeds. Yeah. He hasn't really made other mistakes. What the problem is, when he came in, he made some incredible saves. And that's what people remember, incredible saves where he was at the top of his game. Now goals are going in, and he can't make the save, but that doesn't mean that he's a bad goalkeeper. It's just a very good finish, and that's it. That's it. And that happens with goalkeepers. Look how many goals Alisson has got in this year, and he has made mistakes in the past. But that doesn't mean that he's a bad goalkeeper. He's a very good goalkeeper, and so is Mendy.
On Chelsea's season, you kind of mentioned earlier that top four or a trophy or both would be a successful season. With how much the other teams have basically progressed and strengthened over the summer, do you see that as a realistic target, or do you think that they might fall short this season?
Well, I think that they will get in the top four. Will they win a cup? A cup is a lottery, isn't it? But I do think that getting in the top four is achievable. Will it be difficult? Of course, because you have Spurs, Liverpool, Man City, Man United. They've all improved. Arsenal, they've all improved. if you look at the four spaces, it is Man City, Liverpool. Even though they had a tough start, Liverpool they're going to be in the top 4. We all think. Arsenal has got a really good start, but can they maintain it? And I do like how they are playing. They're playing some really good football with a lot of young players. And then you have Spurs with Conte, who are very solid, and they're picking points up at places where normally they wouldn't pick points up. So it will be tight. It will be close. Chelsea needs to improve. They didn't have the strongest start. They need to improve. They know that. But I still see Chelsea in the top 4.
I'd like to move on. Obviously, you played for Leeds. They've had probably one of the more surprising starts to the season because of how they ended last season. Everyone thought they might be struggling. They seem to be holding up quite well. What have you made of their start?
I think they have been a breath of fresh air. I think they have been absolutely magnificent until now. The break for them is coming at the wrong time, I think, because they had the momentum. They've been playing well. They've been playing really good football. They've been playing really good pressing football, energetic, going forward. Very impressed with them. Long may it continue. As I said, I didn't think that the break now is coming at the right time for them. Hopefully they can pick it back up and keep on going. They played ever so well against Chelsea, deserved to win, and how they done that, they were very good. So I was one of those that they were gonna get a very difficult season because of Phillips going and Rafinha going. But they've got a really good start, and that is a really good thing, to have a good start.
I was going to ask about the players that they lost, because in the transfer window it was all kind of doom and gloom, losing the players, but their recruitment's been quite good. What have you thought of new signings like Aronson and Sinistra? Because obviously they've been starting and they've been winning, scoring goals. So what's your thoughts on them?
Yeah, as I said, very good, very energetic, young, exciting, very tidy on the ball, very like forward thinking, and they can do the pressing game. So I was one that I would have liked to see 2-3 players coming in that have Premier League experience, but I've been proven wrong, that it doesn't always have to be. They've been for Leeds a breath of fresh air.
What did you think of Phillips leaving? Because obviously Rafinha going to Barcelona, a lifelong dream. He's starting games, he's playing regularly. Calvin Phillips has barely had an opportunity at Man City, it seems. World Cup is coming up. Do you think that he'll live to regret that decision to leave this season?
No, I don't think so. I think, in your career, you have to make decisions. He's a boy from Leeds. He loves Leeds through and through. Leeds supporters, they love him. But they also know that Leeds is not going to be champion very soon, in the near future. So, and he's got only X amount of time to achieve that. So, does he need to play a little bit more with Man City? Yeah, he needs to work harder to get his place. But that will make him a stronger person mentally, So, and it will also make him a better footballer. That he has to fight for his place. That he has to become better on the ball, off the ball, that he has to understand the game better tactically, and it will only help the England setup at the end, I think.
Do you not think he's in danger of missing out on the squad if he doesn't get enough game time?
Danger for who? Who's going to fill that spot?
That's a good point. But
Who's at the moment playing better than him in that spot?
Very true. Very true.
You know, he's still the best England midfielder, I think, with Rice. Henderson is not playing great at the moment. Is also not playing in and out. At least his team are winning games in Champions League. Henderson is not. Who else is there?
What about
Billingham. Billingham is good, yeah, but doesn't have the defensive side that Phillips has.
So you would stick. You would stick with Phillips and Rice in the in the World Cup.
I would play Philip, Rice, and Billingham, all three.
Okay.
You know, because Billingham is also a very, very exciting player.
Great. When the manager Jesse Marsch come into Leeds, what were your initial thoughts, and have they changed at all? Was you a skeptic when he come in?
I didn't know him. I didn't know him at all. I know that he has got his son.
Sorry, Jimmy, just breaking up there.
But I didn't know him. So he comes over very relaxed, very intense. You know, very intense in what he does, but calmly, if that makes sense. He obviously knows what he wants. He obviously must be a very good coach. They're playing different than Bielsa. It's not different, not difficult. It is difficult to come after Bielsa, you know, because they have had a lot of success with how Bielsa played. Yeah, he's at the moment. This is really his first year. He started ever so well.
Where do you see them finishing this season? Because obviously last season, just above the relegation zone, escaped. Now looking like a different team. Where do you see their season ending?
No, if they can improve of last year, yeah, and make sure that they maintain their Premier League status, yeah, and improve, they've had a very good season. They need to keep on improving so that they can keep on building. Yeah, they're not going to be in the top 6, 7 yet. It's not going to happen. Yeah, the squad is not big enough for that. But if they can be around between 13th and 10th or 9th, then they have had a really good season.
Great. Just another one of your former sides, Middlesbrough. They haven't started the season so brightly. I think they're just above the relegation zone after 3-2 defeat at home against Millwall against Cardiff the other night.
Yeah.
What do you think is going wrong there?
That's a difficult question. I can't tell you that. Apparently they have been very unlucky a bit. You know, I can't really tell you what is exactly gone wrong. It's just one of those things, you know, where you need some luck to go for you, and you know, when I look at the games that they have, majority of the time they are in control and stuff, and yeah, yesterday was it yesterday? No, was it yesterday that they played, or the day before yesterday?
Before.
Yeah, they were losing 3-0, and obviously that is not good. But look, they've got a very good manager with a good track record, who knows this league, who has got promoted out of this league. Sometimes it happens, that they get a bad run. It's about staying calm and being calm, assess, and show the leadership and work forward. Obviously, we all know that they didn't have a great start, and they're not going to end up there where they are now. They're way too good for where they are now. But look, it's still early days.
How long do you think Wilder will get in terms of turning it around? Do you think that they'll put a lot of faith in him and give him a lot of time?
I think they will. I think normally, if you look at the track record of their chairman, he's not a stupid man. He's not a silly man. But one thing that he does, he works with his managers, and he tried to let them, try to help them to succeed. Everybody in the country speaks really highly of the chairman. So that doesn't mean that he doesn't have a killer instinct. He has. He's not a pushover. Don't get me wrong at all. He knows what he wants, and he also works hard to get what he wants out of situations. He's a really shrewd businessman. But I think Wilder will be giving, and rightly so, a lot of time.
Just obviously in the future, if the Middlesbrough job was to ever come available, would it be something that would interest you?
Oh gosh, you're putting me in a very difficult situation here. Look, I've played at Middlesbrough. I've played for Middlesbrough 2 years. I had 2 wonderful years at Middlesbrough. Was just absolutely magnificent. My last game was the UEFA Cup final for Middlesbrough. Who wouldn't be interested in that job when that job comes up? But for me to talk about that now, that is very disrespectful towards the manager that is in there. So yeah.
Obviously, just to move on there, you recently obviously parted ways with Burton.
Yeah.
It's been a couple of weeks now, I think, since it happened, or a fair few days. Have you had time to reflect on your time there and how it ended? Do you see what the issues were?
Yeah, we know what the issues were. And we have indicated that. We came in 18 months ago. We done absolutely magnificent by keeping the club in the league, and then last year we started ever so well. But then, if you look in January, we had to let players go because the budget, we were a little bit over budget, so we needed to let players go, and we let players go. The budget went down for players. I think Burton has the lowest budget in the league, and if you look at other teams like Ipswich, the Derbies, and Sheffield Wednesday, you're talking about six times more than us budget wise. Now that is not a problem if you understand what kind of club you are and stuff. But we needed to invest a little bit, we couldn't. You know, it was very difficult. And then we didn't had a head of recruitment. You know, the budget and all those kind of things went down significantly. So eventually, you know that you are going to, you know, fight against all those kind of stuff, and it will however good you are, however good of a manager you are, you can only do so much, you know. But then on the other side, you don't want the club to go into debt. So we have done ever so well by getting young players in and generating a lot of money for the club. What we have done, we have sold players to Wrexham, we have sold players to Tranmere, we have sold players to Ipswich of late, you know, and these are players that we have scouted and we have made better and moved on. But when you keep on doing that and you have to then go again, you know, every time you're starting with a blank sheet, you know, it becomes hard, you know. So there comes a time when you have to say thank you very much, and I've done that. I've showed that I can do it. It's been great. Somebody else needs to come in with the same energy and the same commitment and different ideas how and move on.
I just wanted to talk to you about basically Dutch footballers and obviously manager in Ten Hag in the Premier League. How do you think the Dutch are being represented right now? Virgil van Dijk had his question marks over him this season. Van der Beek is still on the bench. How do you think they're going to perform this season?
I like the Dutch players. They are technically always very good. Van Dijk is having a difficult time, but he's still a Rolls Royce. You know, he's still class. You know, every good player goes through difficult times. So I've got really no issue with that whatsoever. Van der Beek is I think Van der Beek, I like him when he was at Ajax, but he needs to go to a team where he's going to play week in, week out, because he's still so young, you know. And he needs to just be out there week in, week out, and still keep on developing. No, I like the Dutch players. I think it's good for the Netherlands team that the Dutch players are in different kind of countries and learning that trade in different countries and seeing how it is. I think the Netherlands will be fine.
How do you think they'll fare in the World Cup?
Lee, can we just look to make this the last question, please?
Yeah, no problem. How do you think Holland will fare in the World Cup? And how do you think England will?
Hopefully, really, really well. Hopefully, I think we will go really far. The last time with Van Gaal, we got to the final, and we lost against Spain, I think, with Van Gaal. We got far with Van Gaal, and hopefully we can do that again. England, everybody thinks that they're going to win it. I think they will go far. I don't think that England will win it though.
Right. Okay. Thanks very much for your time, Jimmy.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Pleasure to meet you.
Thanks a lot, Lee, and thanks, Jimmy. Jimmy will get the laptop sent over just to make sure you're happy with everything.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you, mate.
Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.